The space station floated like a shining pearl in the dark stretch of the galaxy. Ships of all shapes and sizes came and went, carrying traders, explorers, and travelers from distant worlds. Among them, humans were rare, and most aliens regarded them with curiosity. Leo, a young human man, stepped carefully onto the station's main walkway. His eyes scanned the area in awe. Bright signs in alien languages flashed everywhere. Merchants shouted in strange voices, offering exotic foods, tools, and clothing. The air smelled of spices, metal, and something sweet he could not recognize. Leo's heart raced with excitement. He had come to this station for trade and research. His goal was simple: observe alien cultures, learn from them, and perhaps find a few friends along the way. He carried a small bag filled with Earth foods, hoping to share some of his home with aliens who had never tasted them as he walked through the bustling crowd. His attention was drawn to a food court filled with creatures of all shapes. Tentacles reached for bowls, wings flapped in excitement, and some creatures had more than 2 eyes, all staring at their meals with delight. But one sight caught Leo's eye immediately. In a quiet corner, sitting at a small table, was a young alien girl. She was noticeably larger than most of her peers, with soft green skin, round cheeks, and small horns curving gently from her forehead. Her hands shook slightly as she lifted a plate full of colorful food to her mouth. She ate slowly, savoring every bite, her eyes closing for a moment in simple joy. But not everyone around her was kind. A group of alien teenagers nearby whispered, giggled, and pointed at her. Their voices were loud, even to Leo, filled with mockery and cruelty. "Look at her," one sneered. "She eats like she never will stop," another added. "Does she even have bones beneath all that?" The girl's ears twitched nervously. She glanced around, hoping the humans or other aliens would not notice her embarrassment. But most people in the food court ignored her, busy with their own meals and chatter. Leo felt a pang of sympathy. He could see her sadness beneath the enjoyment of her food. But he also noticed something else, a small spark of resilience in her eyes. Even though she was being laughed at, she kept eating, refusing to let the bullies ruin her moment of happiness. Leo stepped closer, carefully avoiding the group of laughing aliens. He wanted to do something, anything, to make her feel welcome. He took a deep breath and approached her table. "Hello," he said gently. The girl froze, her hand holding a piece of food midway to her mouth. She blinked, surprised that a human had spoken to her. Humans were rare on this station, and most aliens avoided them or assumed they were weak. "I'm Leo," he continued, smiling warmly. "May I join you?" The girl hesitated. Her eyes darted to the group of teenagers still whispering and pointing. She shook her head slightly, unsure if she could trust him. But there was something in Leo's calm tone, a sense of genuine kindness that made her pause. "I'm Mira," she whispered, barely above the hum of the food court. Leo nodded. "Mira, that's a nice name. I brought some food from Earth. Would you like to try it?" Myra's eyes widened. She had never seen food like that before. The colors were bright, the smells different, and something about it made her stomach growl with curiosity. But fear still held her back. She had been laughed at so many times that trusting someone new was difficult. Leo smiled reassuringly. "I promise, it's safe. You can try just a little." After a long moment, Mira slowly nodded. She scooted her chair slightly closer to Leo, still clutching her plate. Leo reached into his bag and pulled out small portions of food. He offered them to her one by one, explaining each dish in simple words. "This is a fruit from Earth. It's sweet and soft." Mira sniffed it carefully, then took a small bite. Her eyes lit up. It tastes different," she said, smiling. "I like it." Encouraged, Leo offered another dish. "This is bread with something called cheese. It's creamy and warm." Mira hesitated, then took a small piece. She chewed slowly, her eyes widening with delight. She laughed softly, a sound that made Leo's heart lift. For the first time that day, Mira laughed freely, forgetting the bullies for a moment. Leo watched her closely, glad to see her enjoy herself. Around them, the other aliens noticed the humans sharing food with the overweight girl. Some stared in surprise, whispering among themselves. Humans were supposed to be weak, yet this one showed confidence and kindness. Myra's confidence grew with each bite. She began to talk more, sharing small details about her life. I like to cook sometimes, she said, her voice soft but proud. But people laugh at me because of how I look. Leo listened carefully. That's not fair, he said simply. Size or appearance does not define anyone. Your cooking, your thoughts, and your kindness are what really matter. Mira blinked at him. She had never heard such words before. Usually, people laughed or ignored her. But here was a human, treating her like a friend, not a joke. Her heart felt lighter than it had in a long time. The group of teasing aliens noticed the growing bond. They frowned, confused by the human's behavior. Some whispered, "Why is he helping her? Isn't she useless?" Another muttered, "He's making her important." But Leo did not care about their words. He focused on Mira, sharing more food and asking about her planet, her favorite flavors, and her dreams. Mira's stories were full of warmth, laughter, and hope. She spoke about small joys, like the way sunlight felt on her skin, or the taste of fresh fruits from her hometown. As they talked, a small crowd began to gather around, curious about the unusual scene. Other aliens had never seen someone treated with such care. Slowly, some stopped mocking Mira, watching quietly instead. Mira realized she was no longer afraid. She could eat freely, laugh, and share her thoughts without fear of judgment. Leo had shown her that one person's kindness could outweigh the cruelty of many daughters passed as they continued to eat and talk. The sun outside the station shifted, casting golden light through the glass walls. Mira felt a sense of peace she had not known in years. She looked at Leo and said softly, "Thank you for being kind to me." Leo smiled. "You don't need to thank me. Everyone deserves kindness. Sometimes it just takes one person to start it." By the time the market lights glowed brighter and the food court began to empty, Mira felt different. She had made a friend, learned that not all beings judged her by her appearance, and discovered that food could bring people together in ways she had never imagined. As they stood to leave, Leo handed her a small wrapped package of Earth treats. "For you," he said. "Take it home. Share it with anyone you want. And remember, you are valued." Mira's eyes shimmered. She held the package close and nodded. "I will remember." As they walked toward the exit, Leo glanced back at the group of teasing aliens. They had quieted now, some even looking ashamed. He smiled to himself. Change often started small, but it could grow. Mira had shown courage just by being herself, and he had helped her see it. For Mira, this day was more than just eating and talking. It was the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter where she would be seen not for her size, but for her heart, her courage, and her spirit. And for Leo, it was a reminder of humanity's ability to connect, understand, and uplift others. Even in the farthest corners of the galaxy, the space station continued its hum of activity around them. But for Mira and Leo, the world felt brighter, warmer, and filled with promise. Together, they had discovered the power of kindness, and the adventure was only beginning. The next morning, the space station woke to the sound of engines and chatter. The main walkway was alive with traders, merchants, and travelers from dozens of worlds. Leo had been awake early, packing a small satchel with more Earth food. Today, he planned to visit the food court again. He had noticed Mira sitting alone yesterday, and he wanted to spend more time with her as he walked. Past shops selling shimmering fabrics, glowing crystals, and strange machines. Aliens of all shapes and colors passed by, some smiling, some frowning. Leo's heart felt light with anticipation. He wondered if Myra would be willing to meet him again. At the food court, Myra had already arrived. She sat quietly, her green skin glowing softly under the station lights. Her round cheeks still had a slight flush from yesterday's embarrassment, but her eyes carried a spark of hope. She held a small bowl of her favorite alien dish, slowly picking at the food. When she saw Leo approaching, her ears twitched nervously. She looked down at her bowl and murmured, "Hello?" "Good morning, Mira," Leo said warmly. He set his satchel on the table and opened it. The smell of fresh earth bread and fruits filled the air. I brought something for you. I thought we could try it together. Mira hesitated. Memories of laughter and ridicule flashed in her mind. The aliens yesterday had been cruel, and even a small act of kindness seemed suspicious. But something in Leo's calm eyes gave her courage. Slowly, she nodded. Leo smiled. "Come eat with me," he said gently. The words were simple, but to Myra, they felt like an invitation to a new world. She picked up a small slice of bread that Leo offered and took a cautious bite. Her eyes widened in surprise. The flavor was soft, sweet, and warm. She laughed, a sound full of genuine joy. "Earth food is amazing," she said, her voice light and happy. "I never tasted anything like this," Leo chuckled. "I'm glad you like it. There are more things to try. Would you like to?" Mira nodded eagerly. Leo shared fruit slices, small cakes, and a soft cheese dish. Each bite made her smile brighter. Around them, the crowd noticed the unusual scene. Humans rarely interacted so openly with aliens, especially those teased for their size. Some aliens whispered to each other, curiosity replacing mockery. As they ate, Leo asked gently, "Do you like to cook, Mira?" She paused, thinking. "I do," she said softly. "But I never cook in front of others. They always laugh at me. My family says I should try, but people outside, they are cruel." Leo listened carefully. "I think cooking is wonderful. It shows creativity and care. Size does not matter. What matters is the love you put into it." Mira's ears twitched at his words. She had never been praised like this before. Usually, people only made fun of her or ignored her. But here was a human, appreciating her for who she was. Her heart felt lighter with each word. Encouraged, she spoke more about her life. She described her planet, a world filled with colorful forests, soft lakes, and warm sunlight. She told Leo about her favorite dishes, the fruits she loved to eat, and the way she had learned to cook from her family. Leo nodded with interest. "That sounds amazing. Your planet must be beautiful." "It is," Mira said, smiling. "I love it. But sometimes I feel lonely. People judge me by my size. They do not see me." Leo leaned closer. "I see you, Mira, and I like what I see. You are kind, smart, and brave. You should never feel lonely." Myra looked at him, surprised. "You really mean that?" "Absolutely," Leo said with a smile. "Everyone deserves kindness and respect, and you are no different." For the first time in a long while, Mira felt seen. Her eyes sparkled with a mixture of surprise and joy. She took another bite of the bread, this time feeling confident and happy, as they talked. A small group of aliens who had laughed at Mira yesterday approached. Their expressions were less mocking, more curious. One of them, a tall alien with purple skin, asked, "Why are you eating with her? Isn't she different?" Leo looked at them calmly. "Different does not mean wrong. Myra is my friend. I enjoy her company. She is smart, kind, and interesting. And I think you should try to see that too." The group hesitated, unsure how to respond. No one had ever spoken to them like that. Mira felt a small surge of pride. She could stand beside Leo without fear. Seeing an opportunity, Leo continued, "Everyone has something special. Judging by appearance is easy, but it does not show who someone truly is. Mira has a bright mind and a big heart. I think that matters more than anything else." One of the aliens muttered quietly, "Maybe we were wrong." Mira smiled softly. The words felt strange, but good. For the first time, she realized that change was possible. People could learn to be kind, even if it started small. Over the next hour, Leo and Mira shared more food and stories. Mira described her favorite recipes, showing Leo how certain spices could change the taste of a dish. Leo listened, fascinated, tried to imagine the flavors she described. "You have a talent for cooking, Mira," Leo said. "I would love to try more of your recipes someday." Myra's cheeks flushed with happiness. "Do you really mean that?" she asked, I do, Leo said. Sharing food is one way to show friendship. I want to learn from you, and I hope you can learn from me too. Their conversation continued, flowing easily. Mira felt comfortable talking about herself, her dreams, and even her fears. She had never experienced this before. Most people only saw her size and laughed, but Leo saw her courage, her intelligence, and her heart. As the morning moved into afternoon, Myra began to feel a new sense of confidence. She realized that one person's kindness could outweigh the negativity of many. Even the aliens who had whispered and stared earlier seemed less intimidating now. Leo suggested a small game. Let's see if we can mix your cooking ideas with Earth food. We can create something new. Myra's eyes widened with excitement. That sounds fun. I've never tried that before. They worked together, mixing Earth fruits with Myra's favorite spices, creating small dishes that smelled delicious. Other aliens began to watch, curious and impressed by the strange but tasty combinations. By the time they finished, a small crowd had gathered. Some whispered in surprise, others in admiration. Mira felt proud. She had created something unique, and she had done it without fear. Leo clapped for her, his smile encouraging and warm. You see, he said, when you share your talents, people notice the real you. And it is a good feeling, isn't it? Mira nodded, feeling a warmth in her heart. Yes, it is. I never knew it could feel this way. The teasing aliens from before lingered nearby, but they did not interrupt. Slowly, one stepped forward and asked, Can we try some? Mira looked at Leo nervously, unsure how to respond. Leo nodded. Of course, sharing is always better than keeping things to yourself. Mira smiled and offered the food. The aliens tasted it, and their eyes widened. The flavors were new and exciting. Slowly, their expressions changed from suspicion to appreciation. Some even smiled at Mira, a gesture she had never received before. By the end of the day, Mira had made new allies, even if small, and felt a sense of belonging. Leo had shown her that friendship and kindness could open doors that fear and ridicule had closed as they packed up to leave. Leo handed Mira a small container of Earth fruit. For tomorrow, he said. We can continue our cooking adventure. Mira accepted it gratefully. Thank you, Leo. You have changed my day. Maybe even my life. Leo smiled. We change each other, Myra, and the world can change one kind action at a time. The space station glowed as evening approached, lights reflecting on metal walls and shiny floors. Mira and Leo walked side by side, their laughter soft but genuine. Mira felt a sense of hope and excitement she had never known. She was no longer alone. Leo's presence reminded her that even in a galaxy full of judgment, one human could show true friendship. And perhaps with courage and kindness, she could show others the same. The day ended with a promise. Tomorrow, they would cook again, share food, and explore the power of friendship and understanding. Mira felt a warmth in her heart as she realized that life could be joyful, even in the face of ridicule. And for Leo, the day was a reminder that humanity had the ability to connect with others, to teach empathy, and to help someone see their own worth. Together, they had started a small revolution of kindness, and the galaxy would never be the same for Myra. The space station was alive with activity, even more so than usual. Traders from distant planets hurried through the corridors, carrying exotic goods. The lights reflected off metal walls, casting shimmering colors on the floor. Sounds of machines, alien voices, and laughter filled the air. Mira walked beside Leo, carrying a small basket filled with dishes they had prepared together. The fruit and bread from Earth mixed with her favorite spices had created something unusual, yet surprisingly delicious. She felt proud. For the first time, she realized her size and appearance did not define her. Her talents and heart mattered more than what others thought. Are you ready for today? Leo asked, smiling. Mira nodded. Yes, I want to show others what we made. I want them to see me for who I am, not just how I look. Leo's eyes sparkled. That's the spirit. Let's go. They entered the main food court where many aliens had gathered out of curiosity. Some recognized Mira from the previous day. The small crowd grew larger as news of the unique dishes spread. Aliens whispered excitedly, wondering what the human and the overweight girl had created. Mira felt nervous. She remembered the cruel laughter and mocking glances from before. But with Leo beside her, she felt courage building inside. He smiled reassuringly, and she took a deep breath, ready to face the crowd. "Welcome," Leo announced in a calm, friendly voice. "Today, Mira and I have something special to share. We combined food from her planet and mine to create new flavors. Everyone is welcome to try." The aliens looked at each other in surprise. Some were hesitant, but curiosity overcame fear. Slowly, they approached the table, eager to taste the dishes. Myra's hands trembled slightly. She held her head high. The first alien to taste the food was a small creature with blue skin and 4 arms. It took a bite and paused, eyes widening in delight. This is incredible," it said. "I never thought flavors could be combined like this." Mira's heart lifted. She smiled brightly. "Thank you. I'm happy you like it." One by one, other aliens tried the dishes. Some had never tasted anything similar, and their reactions ranged from surprise to joy. The crowd grew, and soon whispers of admiration replaced the earlier laughter. Leo watched Mira closely. He noticed her confidence growing. Her eyes sparkled, and she spoke with warmth and pride about the dishes they had made. He realized that her courage was inspiring others. "See?" Leo said quietly. "People notice the real you when you share your talents." Mira nodded. She had never imagined that her passion for cooking could bring joy to others. The teasing and ridicule from before felt like a distant memory. As the day went on, Mira began to teach small groups of aliens how to prepare the dishes. She explained the spices, the mixing techniques, and the careful preparation needed. Leo assisted her, adding Earth's ingredients and helping to translate when needed. Some of the aliens who had laughed at her before were now watching quietly. One tall alien with orange skin muttered, "Maybe we judged her too quickly." Another nodded. "She is talented. We should apologize." Myra overheard the whispers and felt a surge of pride. She had shown them that her size did not define her abilities. She smiled at them, offering a small dish. "Would you like to try it?" she asked. The aliens hesitated, then accepted. Their expressions changed from doubt to surprise. The flavors were different, exciting, and delicious. Slowly they began to smile and even nod in appreciation. Leo clapped lightly, encouraging everyone. "See, kindness and talent speak louder than mockery. Mira has shown us all something important today." The crowd began to disperse, leaving Mira feeling accomplished. She had faced the fear of ridicule and had transformed it into respect. Her confidence had grown, and she realized that she could be herself without shame. "Thank you," Mira said quietly as they cleaned the table. "I never thought anyone would see me like this." "You have changed everything for me," Leo smiled. "You changed yourself, Mira. I only helped you see it. Courage and kindness are powerful." Mira's ears twitched in happiness. She felt lighter than she had in years. The small victories of the day had made a lasting impact. Later, as they walked through the station, Mira shared more about her favorite places on her planet. She described soft lakes where sunlight reflected on the water, forests filled with fragrant flowers and fields of fruit trees. Leo listened with fascination, asking questions and imagining the scenes. "You have a wonderful world," Leo said. "I would love to visit someday." Mira smiled. "You are welcome anytime. Maybe one day I can cook for you there too." Their conversation flowed easily, and for the first time Mira felt the joy of being understood. She realized that friendship could overcome fear and judgment. The next day, they returned to the food court with a plan. Mira wanted to create a larger event, inviting more aliens to taste their dishes and learn about Earth and her planet. Leo supported her idea, helping to organize the table, prepare dishes, and greet visitors. Word spread quickly. Aliens from different sectors of the station came to see the human and the girl who had impressed so many with their cooking. Mira felt nervous, but excited. She prepared her dishes carefully, following the recipes she had shared with Leo. When the first guests arrived, Mira greeted them warmly. "Hello, please try our dishes. We hope you enjoy them." The crowd was polite but cautious at first. Some were unsure about trying food from other planets, but the aroma was enticing, and curiosity overcame hesitation. One by one, aliens tasted the dishes, their reactions full of surprise and delight. "You have a gift," one small alien said. "The flavors are amazing." Mira blushed. "Thank you. I'm happy you like it." Leo noticed that the aliens who had once mocked her were now smiling and even helping serve dishes. The shift in their behavior amazed him. Myra's courage and willingness to share had transformed the atmosphere. By mid-afternoon, the table was surrounded by a diverse crowd. Aliens of all shapes and colors tasted the dishes, asked questions, and shared their own cooking ideas. Myra felt proud and grateful. She realized that her passion had not only brought joy to others, but also changed perceptions. "You see, Mira," Leo said quietly, "people respect courage and talent. They notice when someone is kind and willing to share. You have inspired them today." Mira's heart swelled. "I never thought I could make such a difference," she said. "I only wanted to cook and enjoy food. But now, I feel like I belong." Leo nodded. "You do belong. You always have. Sometimes it just takes a little courage to show the world who you really are." As the day ended, Mira and Leo packed up their supplies. Mira felt tired, but happy. She had faced her fears, shared her talents, and made a real impact on the station. The respect she earned was not just for her cooking, but for her courage, kindness, and spirit. Before leaving, Mira handed Leo a small package of her favorite alien fruits. "For you," she said. "To remember today." Leo accepted it with a smile. "Thank you. I will remember. And tomorrow, we will create something even better." The lights of the space station glowed as evening fell. Mira walked beside Leo, feeling a warmth in her heart. She had learned that friendship, courage, and kindness could overcome judgment and fear. She had discovered that her size did not limit her abilities or her worth. Leo looked at her and said softly, "You are amazing, Mira. Never forget that." Mira smiled, her eyes shining. "I will not. And I will continue to share my gifts with others." Today was only the beginning. Together, they left the food court, ready to face new adventures, new challenges, and new opportunities to show that friendship and kindness could create a better galaxy. Mira had found a true friend in Leo, and through their bond, they had begun to teach others the value of courage, respect, and seeing the true worth in every being. The day ended not with applause or rewards, but with a quiet, shared understanding. Mira had discovered her own strength, and Leo had shown that humanity could touch hearts even in the farthest corners of the universe. Together, they were ready for whatever the next day would bring. The space station had become a place of excitement and curiosity for Mira. Her days now started with a sense of purpose. She woke early, planning the day's cooking sessions with Leo, preparing both Earth and alien dishes for visitors from across the galaxy. But Mira knew that not everyone on the station had embraced the change. Some aliens still whispered, judging her size and doubting her abilities. That morning, Mira arrived at the food court carrying a tray of warm bread and fruit pies. Leo followed with baskets of earth, spices, and fruits. They planned to teach a small cooking class to younger aliens who wanted to learn the art of combining flavors. Myra's heart raced. Teaching was a new experience, and she was eager to share her skills as they set up their table. A group of the older alien teenagers appeared. These were the ones who had laughed at Mira when she first arrived. Their purple and orange skin shimmered in the station light as they approached with folded arms and skeptical expressions. "Back again?" one of them sneered. "Are you going to show everyone how strange your food is today?" Mira felt her ears twitch nervously. She remembered the laughter and mockery from the past, but she did not feel the same fear as before. Leo stood beside her, smiling confidently, and that gave her courage. "This food is for anyone who wants to learn," Mira said calmly. "No one is forced to try it, but everyone is welcome." The aliens glanced at each other, surprised by her calmness. They had expected anger, tears, or fear, but Mira stood tall and confident. The words were simple, but the strength behind them was clear. Leo stepped forward. "Everyone deserves a chance to learn and to be treated with respect," he said firmly. "Mira is talented, and she has something special to share. You should watch and see for yourself." The older aliens exchanged glances. Some muttered under their breath, unsure how to respond. Mira felt a small thrill of satisfaction. They had underestimated her. But she would show them that courage and skill were more powerful than mockery. As the younger aliens gathered around, Mira began to teach. She explained how to mix spices, balance flavors, and create dishes that were both delicious and healthy. Leo demonstrated the Earth's dishes, showing how bread could be paired with fruit or cheese to create unique tastes. The crowd of younger aliens was enthusiastic. They followed Mira's instructions carefully, asking questions and trying new combinations. Mira smiled as she watched them taste their creations, their faces lighting up with delight. The joy of teaching and sharing filled her heart. The older aliens remained nearby, observing silently. At first they tried to hide their interests, but curiosity soon took over. One of them, the tall, orange-skinned alien, leaned closer and whispered, "How does she know so much about cooking?" She is amazing," another nodded. "I never thought someone like her could be so skilled. Maybe we were wrong." Mira noticed their change in attitude but did not react. She focused on the students in front of her, guiding them patiently. The confidence she had gained over the past few days was now a steady flame inside her. She had learned that true strength came from kindness, patience, and skill, not anger or revenge. After an hour of teaching, Leo suggested a small challenge. "Let's see if everyone can create a dish using both Earth and alien ingredients. We will taste each one and celebrate creativity." The students eagerly accepted the challenge. Mira watched as they combined fruit, bread, and spices in unique ways. The aromas were incredible, filling the air with smells that made even the skeptical older aliens curious. One of the older aliens finally stepped forward. "May we try?" he asked cautiously. Mira smiled warmly. "Of course. Everyone is welcome to taste and learn." They hesitated at first, but then tasted the dishes. Their expressions changed from doubt to delight. The flavors were surprising, harmonious, and delicious. Slowly, their skepticism melted away, replaced by admiration. Leo clapped his hands. "See, respect and skill are what matter. Mira has shown us all that greatness comes from effort, talent, and courage." The older aliens nodded silently. One of them, the tall, orange-skinned alien, stepped closer and said, "We underestimated you, Mira. Your cooking is remarkable, and your courage is inspiring. I am sorry for laughing before." Mira's eyes widened. She felt a warmth in her chest. "Thank you. I appreciate your words." Apology accepted. The other aliens followed suit. Slowly, the group that had once mocked her now showed respect. Mira realized that her confidence, combined with Leo's support, had changed not only their perception of her, but also the atmosphere of the station. After the class ended, Mira and Leo packed their supplies. Mira felt proud, but also thoughtful. She realized that respect had to be earned, not through anger or retaliation, but through patience, courage, and kindness. "Leo," she said softly, "I never imagined I could make others see me differently. I was always afraid of their laughter. But today, it feels like I belong." Leo smiled. "You do belong, Mira. Courage and kindness are contagious. You showed everyone that what matters is not how someone looks, but who they are inside." Mira's ears twitched happily. She had learned an important lesson. Her size, her appearance, or others' opinions could not limit her. She had talent, heart, and courage. And those were the qualities that truly mattered. The following days were filled with more lessons and cooking sessions. Mira and Leo continued to share dishes, teach younger aliens, and explore new combinations of flavors. The station began to notice the positive change. Where once there had been ridicule and gossip, now there was curiosity, respect, and cooperation. Myra also noticed a subtle shift in the older aliens. Some began to approach her, asking for advice on cooking, or seeking her opinion on flavors. Mira responded with kindness, sharing her knowledge without judgment. Each interaction strengthened her confidence and reinforced the lesson that respect is earned through action, not confrontation. One afternoon, while preparing a batch of fruit pies with Leo, Mira spotted a group of young aliens she had not seen before. They watched her nervously, unsure if they should approach. Mira smiled at them and waved. "Would you like to try baking with me?" she asked gently. The young aliens nodded hesitantly. Mira guided them patiently, showing how to mix ingredients and prepare the pies. They laughed as some of the pies came out misshapen, but still delicious. Mira encouraged them, praising their efforts and creativity. Leo observed quietly, proud of Mira. He saw how she had transformed from a shy, self-conscious girl into a confident, inspiring presence. The other humans and aliens in the station noticed as well, whispering about the girl who had earned respect through courage and kindness. By the end of the week, Mira had gained more friends than she could have imagined. The older aliens who had once mocked her now assisted in organizing food events and encouraged others to join. The younger aliens looked up to her, inspired by her talent and bravery. Mira realized that her actions had created a ripple effect, spreading kindness, respect, and cooperation across the station. One evening, as the lights of the station glowed softly, Mira and Leo sat together, enjoying a quiet moment. "Leo," Mira said thoughtfully, "I never believed that one person could make such a difference. But you showed me that kindness and courage can change how others see the world. And I have learned to see myself differently too." Leo smiled. "You changed," to Mira. "Courage, kindness, and persistence were already inside you. I only helped you realize them. Together, we have made a small difference, but the impact will grow as long as you continue to share your gifts." Mira felt a sense of fulfillment. She knew that she had overcome fear, ridicule, and self-doubt. She had discovered her own strength and learned that respect is earned through skill, patience, and compassion. The space station continued its busy rhythm around them, but for Mira and Leo, the day had been transformative. Mira had shown herself and others that courage and kindness are more powerful than mockery. Her heart was full. She felt ready for any challenge the galaxy might bring. As they prepared to leave for the evening, Mira looked around the food court. Aliens of all shapes and sizes were laughing, cooking, and sharing meals. Some still whispered, but their words carried curiosity rather than judgment. Mira realized that the environment had changed because of her actions, her courage, and her willingness to share her talents. Leo looked at her and said softly, "You have earned respect, Mira. Never forget that. Your courage and heart are your greatest strengths." Mira smiled, her eyes shining with happiness. "I will remember, and I will continue to share my skills, my kindness, and my heart with everyone I meet." Together, they left the station, their steps light and confident. Mira knew that the journey was far from over. There would still be challenges and doubts. But she had discovered a truth that could never be taken away. Respect and admiration come from courage, skill, and kindness, not fear or appearance. And with Leo beside her, she felt ready to face the galaxy, sharing her gifts, inspiring others, and showing that one person's courage can change the hearts of many. The space station buzzed with excitement. Banners of colors from dozens of planets fluttered in the artificial breeze, and the scent of food from every corner filled the air. Today was a special day of festival, celebrating flavors from across the galaxy. Mira had never imagined something like this could happen. Just a few weeks ago, she had been laughed at for enjoying her meals. Now, she was at the center of a celebration that welcomed everyone to share, learn, and appreciate food. Leo walked beside her, carrying a tray of earth fruits. "Are you ready, Myra?" he asked, smiling. Mira nodded, her green skin glowing softly under the lights. "I think so. I just hope people enjoy what we prepared." "They will," Leo said confidently. "You have earned this moment. People respect you now. They have learned from your courage and your talent." Mira took a deep breath. Today was more than about food. It was about friendship, respect, and change. She had faced ridicule, grown in confidence, and discovered her own strength. Now, she would share it with the entire station. They arrived at the central hall, where tables from dozens of planets were arranged in neat rows. Aliens of all shapes, sizes, and colors were already gathered, tasting dishes, laughing, and learning from one another. Mira's table stood in a prominent spot, decorated with fruit, bread, pies, and small dishes filled with both Earth and alien ingredients. Leo set down his tray and looked at Mira. "Shall we start?" he asked. Mira smiled nervously but nodded. She began to greet the crowd. "Welcome," she said warmly. "Today, we share food, stories, and friendship. Everyone is welcome to taste, learn, and enjoy." The crowd responded with polite cheers and smiles. Young aliens rushed forward to try the dishes. Mira demonstrated how to mix ingredients, sharing tips and techniques. Leo added earth spices, showing how they could be combined with alien flavors to create something new and exciting. As the crowd tasted the food, reactions ranged from surprise to delight. One small alien with blue skin exclaimed, "This bread with fruit is amazing. I never imagined such flavors could go together." Another alien with purple wings added, "And the pies. They are soft and sweet. Delicious." Mira laughed, feeling a warmth in her heart. She had spent so long hiding, ashamed of her size and judged by others. Now, she was the center of admiration, not ridicule. Her courage, skill, and patience had transformed her world. Even the older aliens who had once mocked her were now present, quietly observing. One approached her table. "Mira," he said, his voice respectful, "I am sorry for laughing at you before. Your talent and courage have changed how we see you." "Thank you for teaching us," Mira smiled. "Thank you. I am happy you are willing to learn. We all grow when we share and understand each other." Leo watched proudly as Mira interacted with the crowd. Her confidence had grown remarkably. She guided the young aliens, helped the hesitant ones, and encouraged everyone to try new combinations of flavors. Her smile, her patience, her knowledge inspired admiration from everyone around her. Throughout the day, more aliens joined the festival. Some were hesitant at first, unsure about trying unfamiliar foods. Mira welcomed them gently, offering small portions and explaining the ingredients. Slowly, their curiosity replaced fear. By the afternoon, Mira's table was crowded with a diverse audience. All eager to learn and taste, Leo suggested a small competition to engage the crowd. "Let's see who can create the most creative dish using both Earth and alien ingredients." "Everyone is invited to participate," the crowd cheered. Mira guided the participants, helping them mix ingredients, balance flavors, and present their dishes. The aromas filled the hall, and laughter echoed through the space station. The competition was friendly and fun, encouraging creativity rather than rivalry. After the challenge, Mira and Leo tasted each creation. The flavors were surprising and delightful. Some aliens had combined sweet fruits with savory spices, while others had experimented with textures. Mira praised every participant, emphasizing effort, creativity, and joy over perfection. "This is wonderful," she said. "Everyone's effort shows courage, creativity, and heart. That is what matters most." The crowd applauded, their admiration clear. Mira realized that she had achieved something remarkable. Not only had she shared her skills and knowledge, but she had also taught others the value of respect, courage, and friendship. Later in the afternoon, Leo handed Mira a small tray of earth desserts he had prepared. "These are for you," he said, "to celebrate everything you have done." Mira's eyes widened in surprise. "For me?" she asked softly. "Yes," Leo replied. "You have shown the station that courage, kindness, and skill can change minds and hearts. You deserve this." Mira smiled, feeling tears of happiness well up. She took a bite of the dessert, savoring the sweet flavor, and looked around at the crowd. The young aliens were laughing and learning. The older aliens were respectful and curious, and the station itself felt warmer, friendlier, and more welcoming. The festival continued into the evening. Mira and Leo worked together, serving dishes, sharing stories, and encouraging participation. Visitors from distant planets praised their efforts. The combination of Earth and alien cuisine became a highlight of the festival. At one point, a group of young aliens approached Mira nervously. "We want to cook like you," one said shyly. Mira knelt to their level, smiling warmly. "You can. Cooking is about sharing, learning, and creating joy. I will help you, and together, we can make something amazing." Young aliens beamed. Mira guided them through the steps, showing patience and encouragement. Their success brought her pride, and she realized that her influence extended beyond herself. She was inspiring a new generation to value courage, creativity, and kindness. Leo watched quietly, his heart swelling with pride. He had seen Mira transform from a shy, self-conscious girl into a confident, inspiring presence. She had earned respect not through force or anger, but through skill, patience, and compassion. As the festival drew to a close, Ira and Leo stood together, surveying the hall. Tables were empty, dishes were cleaned, and aliens were chatting happily with one another. The atmosphere was vibrant, filled with warmth, laughter, and respect. Mira turned to Leo. "I never imagined something like this could happen," she said softly. "I was laughed at, judged, and ignored. But now, I feel proud, confident, and part of something bigger." Leo nodded. "You made it happen, Mira. Your courage and kindness changed hearts. You showed everyone that respect and admiration come from who someone is inside, not how they look." Mira smiled, her heart full. She realized that the journey was far from over, but the lessons she had learned would guide her forever. She had discovered that sharing her talents, showing courage, and being kind could create a ripple effect. Inspiring others and transforming communities, the older aliens, who had once mocked her, approached once more. This time they bowed slightly, showing respect. Mira, the tall, orange-skinned alien, said, "You have taught us a valuable lesson. Thank you for showing us the importance of courage, skill, and kindness." Mira's ears twitched happily. "Thank you for listening and learning. Everyone can grow and change. Today is proof of that." The festival ended with a final moment of celebration. Mira and Leo stood side by side, holding hands as the crowd cheered. Music from different planets filled the hall, and the scent of food lingered in the air. Mira felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had overcome fear, ridicule, and self-doubt. She had earned respect, formed friendships, and shared her gifts with the galaxy, as the lights of the station dimmed for the night. Mira and Leo walked through the quiet corridors, carrying empty trays but full hearts. Mira felt a sense of hope, purpose, and joy. She knew that she could face any challenge with courage and kindness, and that her actions could inspire others to do the same. Leo looked at her with a smile. "Mira, today was incredible. You have changed this station, and perhaps even the galaxy, one meal at a time." Myra laughed softly. "I could not have done it without you, Leo. You believed in me when no one else did. You showed me that kindness and courage can change lives." Leo shrugged lightly. "We changed each other, and together, we can continue to make a difference." Mira nodded. She had learned that friendship, courage, the willingness to share her talents could transform fear into admiration, ridicule into respect, and loneliness into belonging. The space station would never forget the young, overweight alien girl who had dared to be herself, share her gifts, and teach the galaxy the power of kindness. As Mira and Leo looked up at the glowing lights of the station, they knew that this was only the beginning. There would always be new challenges, new aliens to meet, and new opportunities to share kindness, skill, and courage. But together, they felt unstoppable. Mira smiled, her heart full of joy and hope. She had discovered her strength, earned respect, and made a lasting change. And she knew that as long as she remained kind, courageous, and true to herself, the galaxy would always have a place for her. The festival had ended, But the impact of Mira's courage and friendship with Leo would continue to inspire everyone who had witnessed it. And in the quiet of the evening, Mira realized that she had not only transformed the station, but also herself. She was no longer defined by fear or judgment. She was defined by her heart, her courage, and the connection she had made. For the first time in her life, Mira felt completely at home in the galaxy.